Hey, we're back. Part 2, week, late June.
Unbelievable.
I think it's like week 8 or 9. I don't know.
Season 2?
Season 3.
Season 3.
Amazing we've been doing it for three years. Nobody watches, but we've been doing it for 3
Have a good
years.
time with it. It's fun.
We have a good time anyway.
If you watch, let us know.
Yeah, we don't know. A couple people will say hi every now and then.
It's got a good picture today. 75 years ago today, Babe Ruth was on his farewell tour of all American League ballparks. And it was a picture of him with the St. Louis Browns bat boy.
Oh, wow.
And it was really, really cool. He died, Babe Ruth wound up dying about a month and a half later. And the bat boy kid is now the president of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Wow.
Great photo.
Really cool.
I mean, it's
Wow,
really,
I guess
really
so,
neat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
But
Well, I gotta say
baseball,
one
the
thing.
Cardinals.
Well, first,
Go ahead.
We're in June. It's almost the end of June, and the Braves are still in first place. That's all I got. It's 3.5 up right now.
I'm telling you.
3.5. And the Nationals must be getting worried because they went and made a deal for bullpen help. So, I mean, they must think the Braves are for real.
I can't imagine that they wouldn't think they are for real because they
The team we talked about last week, the Mariners, lost 3 in a row, a little slack. The Astros are hotter than
Hot
hot.
as a
First team in
firecracker.
baseball to win 50.
Yep.
Which, who'd have thought that? I mean, the two teams on the NL East, I think, AL East, each have 49. But but the Yankees, again, pulled a couple games ahead of the Red Sox there. They've played a lot less. I think they're 4 up
games
in the
left,
loss column, but they're tied in the win column. And Stanton having his little...
He's having his power out.
He's having his little 2 week where he'll carry the team.
He walk off last night. Walked it off, baby. That one was impressive. I mean, that was a strength home run because that ball should not have gone out of the yard. That was a good pitch. A slider. It's kind of like the one that got hit in the College World Series last night too. Was a good pitch. The leadoff, a down and away slider, and he just went out and got it.
Rope, too. It was just like a laser beam.
Yeah. So, hey, he's doing his thing. So we'll see how it all comes out. Did we pick them early? Didn't we pick them early? Didn't we pick the Yankees?
The Yankees?
Early?
We did.
Okay.
I picked the Red Sox.
Okay, all right. So,
Just making sure.
but still,
There it is. Can you...
I don't know if you'll be able to see
Bill DeWitt. There it is. Bill DeWitt Jr.
Cool.
President of the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's cool.
It's kind of neat. And
And the Babe,
the Babe.
the Sultan of SWAT.
And we started talking a little bit about full-time pitchers, full-time hitters with Ohtani.
Right.
Yep.
And what's the latest word with him since
Well,
you keep up with that?
they've given him, I think it was a platelet injection or
PRP.
and they think now maybe they won't have to give him Tommy John surgery. They're waiting it out, and that he'll at least be a hitter. I think I think they're putting off the inevitable, but I mean
Can he swing? Or is the
I think that he can swing. He doesn't.
so is he DHing?
I have not seen him in the lineup.
They've shut him down.
He's on the DL right now.
Yeah.
He's on the DL for another 2
Yeah.
weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and then I guess they'll decide when he comes back whether he does one position or 2 positions. But maybe you get it to the off season. I mean that's the only thing I can think of. Is try to.
But the longer they wait to give him the surgery, aren't you now saying, okay, well, we're going to wait and see what happens, then we're going to just scratch 2019 off the book because...
Not necessarily. I mean, he might be for a pitcher, but for a position player, you know.
Like Corey Seager had Tommy John surgery at the beginning of the year when he got hurt, and he's gone for the year. And I'm thinking the longer they wait with Ohtani, isn't 2019 in jeopardy? He's not going to be here, obviously, this year, the way it's going. But,
Well, you don't know that for another 2 weeks. 2 weeks is not going to.
Right.
2 weeks
That's
is
not
just
going to
2
kill
weeks.
you. And they're
Talking
right now. The Angels are what? They're like 7 back in the wild card right now. So I mean, they have they still have a chance, but it's the door's
Long
closing.
They're
closing.
chasing the 2 teams that you guys told me last week that the wild card will come out of the East and the West because it's going to be the Astros, the Mariners, the Red Sox, and the Yankees, and who will win. And so you're saying the Angels have a shot.
No. I'm saying they're in the discussion right now.
They're 7 back.
I-
Interesting
they're
thing about
7 back.
Tommy John, and again, I don't want to go back to college baseball,
By the way,
but just
Tommy
something
John's
to
been a Hall
throw
of Fame.
in and whatever.
Okay.
Our guy Hunter Ruth, former teammate of Danny's, now Florida Gator pitcher. Tommy John surgery out of Buchholz High School, freshman, Baseball America last week, the guy tweets, and I guess he's in Omaha with the team and everything, and the guy from Baseball America basically tweeted, feel bad for the Gators because they're losing Kowar and Singer. Freshman Hunter Ruth, who had Tommy John surgery last year, just did a bullpen, and he's throwing 92 to 94 with a wicked off-speed stuff.
That's nice.
So it's good to see Hunter throwing
Yes.
a good bullpen in Omaha, where kind of a few people, I guess, they made sure they saw him pitching his bullpen.
Yeah, that was strategic. Yeah, you get.
But that's Tommy John now.
That's
You
now.
come back.
Yeah, you come back now within a year. I mean, he had it done.
Right at the end of baseball. So May of 17, late April of 17.
So
So
before he
it's
ever
been
got
a
on
li-
campus.
Oh, he got it done before his high. Yeah.
His high school career was, yeah.
Yeah, and it was part of the thing because, and it's interesting about the Ohtani, he was the DH for the high school team. I mean, and he was pitching, and then he DH as well, and he was their big guy, and they won their district, and they were going to the postseason, and he was still, once his elbow went out, all he was doing was DHing, and he chose to have the surgery right after the regular season ended, so he wasn't around for the postseason last year. And there was talk.
Yeah, I don't know if that would.
But,
he would
hey.
not. He would not have endeared me to him if I'd have been a teammate at that point.
But at the time, the draft is coming.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, but you're not going to get
No.
drafted. I mean,
Well,
it's
he
not
did.
gonna-
No, he went.
It's not going to affect your
the
draft
Cubs
status.
took him.
Whether you have it
Whether you've had it or
or
not.
whether you don't have it, it's not going to. You're going to have it. So they're going to draft you either way.
So he got drafted by the Cubs, but chose to sign with the Gators.
I think
And he
the
showed up on
Ohtani
campus.
thing again is can he help you, number one,
Mm-hmm.
and number two, do you feel like you have a realistic chance of catching either one of those two teams for either your division or the wild card? Which you're going to have to catch one of those teams in your division to beat the wild card.
Right.
So do you feel like, okay, we can get there, and can this guy help me? But if you're making up 7 games between that, or if you make up 3 games in the next week without him, you think, well, do we really need him? And then don't you just shut him down anyway and go ahead and have it done? If you're going to have it done, maybe they think that he'll be all right without it. But if you had a PRP last year and then it flared back up again, I think you're just asking for the inevitable. At some point, you're going to have
What's
to
the investment they got in him?
I don't even know what they signed him for.
many millions.
Millions. I don't know.
Many millions.
Right.
So you want to protect your
And they're 7 back from Seattle right now, so they're 10 back. You know,
But the Astros went, and I know they're not the Astros, but the Astros went and won what, 11 in a row, 12 in a row?
Yeah, something like that.
13 in a row.
13 in a row.
Okay, and you do that, and a few teams will do that. They'll win 9 out of 10. You win 9 out of 10. I mean,
You're 4 games.
and all of a sudden your 7 games just became
4.
4,
Yeah.
and we're still in June.
Well, we won't be in June by the time we'll be into July by the time he's back.
And you're asking the Mariners, were the Mariners playing way over their head, or is
Maybe.
right now just a little bump in the road?
I think every team goes through it. Every team has ups. Every team has downs, and so you hope that it balances out before the end, and the good teams can limit those slides, and the
That's what
bad
they-
teams can't.
About the Braves, will the Braves make a move? Because they have a lot of young talent on that team that is, do they go and find somebody? I mean, I know they have Markakis and Freeman is pretty established, but most of the guys on that team are pretty young.
Well, I quote a good friend of mine, Eddie Gilly, and most of you know him. He's one of the lead hosts on 3 Ball Walk. And Eddie said they're a year ahead of schedule.
They are.
Anything this year is bonus, and don't give up what you've got coming back next year.
No, I agree with that.
Just to try to win this year.
Because I don't.
Do you remember when he said that?
I do. Yeah, I do remember that guy saying that, and I still stand by it. And I don't know. This is the truth. I mean, maybe they'll win it all, but I don't know if they get in postseason if they have the pitching back to back to back, and the hitting under pressure to get there to be able to win it anyway. And then you mortgage the farm. You give away the farm
don't do that.
for a 1-year shot. And then you don't make it that 1 year.
And
now you've given
the next
away
3 or 4
I agree.
years.
3 or 4 years. You're set
Because,
back.
I agree.
because I'll tell you, they say the hardest outs to get in the game are the 3
last
outs in the
3.
9th.
Yeah.
The hardest games to win when you're a young team are those wins in September.
Yeah.
And that's where all of a sudden, hey, they could have it, but experience.
I'd let
Does-
them. If I'm a general manager, I'm not making if I can get something for nothing, or if I can get something for a minor leaguer that we're not counting on for 2 or 3 years down the road,
Yep.
then I might say yes. Let's bring in somebody. But then you wonder, does it mess up your chemistry in the clubhouse and on the field when you bring somebody in and the team has been playing really well and really loose? Now you get somebody comes in and starts saying, "Hey Rook, do this. Hey Rook," and you're like, "Whoa, time out. We're in first place without you."
Yes and no. I mean, I saw what Darren Dalton did for the '97 Marlins, and all of a sudden, and his big quote was, "It's a country club atmosphere around here," and it made a big difference. So yes and no, and a lot of times that veteran, and you got to get the right guy.
Were the Marlins in
got-
first place when he came?
They never did finish in first place. They were
Okay,
the wild card.
so that's the difference. There is if you have a team that's already in first place and you bring somebody in, then it's like, well, if it's a country club environment, well, the country club's pretty good right now.
Right. The one thing with the Braves, and I don't know your feelings on this, is they're gonna have to win solidly now, because I think that the Nationals are putting it together.
Yeah.
And the Nationals are going to start playing them.
Yep.
And you got to keep up with them. Before it was the Braves and the Phillies, and the Nationals just started off brutal, and now the Nationals have been and now I think they've won 7 or 8 out of their last 10, and they're on a roll.
No, they
didn't.
They went 3-7 out of their last 10. The Nationals.
The Nationals went 3-7 out of the last 10. They lost. the
Other
last
way,
one.
the Phillies
Ah,
went
it's the
7.
Phillies.
And the
that are
Phillies are
getting
gotten
hot.
hot. And which also brings up the question: when do the Mets begin their fire sale? Because does DeGrom get dealt? Does Syndergaard get dealt? I mean,
And see now, if you can get a Jake DeGrom, yeah, okay. If you can get a Syndergaard to go on the back end of that rotation, you might consider giving up a couple of guys.
sure, exactly.
Who aren't key cogs in that. Or if you can get one of those big bats, if you could somehow crank Cespedes away from that squad, put him out in that. Yeah, I
Josh Donaldson away from the Blue Jays?
no, I just had never been a big Josh Donaldson fan. I'm sorry. I think he's a good player, but he's not a guy I'd want to build my team around.
Machado?
Too old.
Machado's too old.
No, Machado's younger than Johnson.
I still think he's too old to build your team around. I think he's.
Is he like 25?
How old is he?
I think he's 25.
No way.
No.
Yeah, because
Machado?
Johnson's 32. Yeah.
I think he's like 28.
Check and see.
We'll check it. But anyway, I think Machado is another guy that I wouldn't build my team around him. I would add him to the team,
He's okay.
but I don't think he's a guy that can carry. I don't think he's a Bryce Harper or a Bryant or a Mike Trout. I don't think he's a good player. I don't
good.
think he's the guy that you say we build our team around. That guy will be better. He can be a good point.
So
He's
your
better
boy
than
Matt,
most.
your boy Matt Kemp got
Yeah.
in another brawl?
I didn't see that. He did.
He did.
Good for him.
Uh,
Good way to go. It's like
yeah.
the Dodgers are getting closer in the West. I mean, but Arizona, does Arizona go out and make a deal? I mean,
He's only 25.
they're too.
Machado's only 25.
Yeah, born in '92.
Yep. I thought he was.
I thought he was
25.
older than that, so I'll take it back. I still wouldn't trade the farm for him though.
No, I
I
wouldn't
still
either.
wouldn't build a team around him.
Because he's a free agent next year, and if you trade, I mean, he's a rental right now.
I wouldn't lock him up for long term. Even I don't think he's.
I don't know. I think he's pretty good. I mean, I don't. I agree. He's not Mike Trout. He's not Bryce Harper. And of course, the question then is, how much does Bryce Harper get at the end of the year? When he goes free agent? Because they're talking about him getting half $500 million maybe. For Bryce Harper. It's going to be interesting to see. But for right now, Machado. I think Machado comes to the National League. If the Orioles trade him, they're not going to trade him into the American League. I can't.
Depends
see
on
them
who's
doing
got
that.
the dollars to give him up.
But the Mets, I think the Mets, it's going to be very interesting to see how quickly and who they deal off. And the word is DeGrom is gone. They're going to deal DeGrom. I'm thinking, good Lord.
And Cespedes?
I haven't heard about Cespedes. I mean,
See,
Cespedes for the rest of us.
at Festivus?
At Festivus.
Festivus.
There you go. He would be the guy. I would go get.
Start the feats of
I'm
spring.
sorry.
See, and Cespedes says, for some reason, he's never stuck. And I've never understood
I never
that.
understood it. Nope.
Never understood.
Nope. Came up in Oakland. He was all everything. They got rid of him, and
There's got to be something. Again, we've talked about this before. There's got to be something in the clubhouse, in his demeanor, something that he's hard to work with, because his talent is off the charts.
And yet, the Dodgers they stuck it out with Puig, didn't they?
yeah.
he did.
And if you find the right organization, you find the right person who can become a mentor, I think then you can take that talent and refine it and make it a a really good player.
And Puig's a guy that they were going to deal him. They were going to deal him. They were going to deal him.
They sent him to the minor leagues.
They sent him to the minor leagues. Every day they were going to trade him, and then they stuck with him.
And send the guy. Send
And he's
him.
doing well.
Yeah.
Send him over
No,
to play
he's-
with Mike Trout. To me, Mike Trout. I saw a thing they did on ESPN on his first 1,000 games. If he doesn't
Pretty
get
impressive.
if he doesn't get hurt, he might go down as the best player ever statistically.
He's amazing. What really kills you is the fact that he's on a team that just doesn't win. You know.
And talk about
Always
people that
over
put up numbers.
9.
I saw a special the other night on talking about 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. Only a handful, less than that, have done it in the history. The most recent guy to do it is 52 years old, playing
Rafael Palmeiro.
Rafael
Rafael Palmeiro.
Sure.
And did you see the little
I
piece
saw
on
that
him?
piece.
You
Yeah,
know?
playing
And
out in
he's
Texas
out there playing out in Texas in an
Independent
independent league.
with his son. Which is pretty cool.
How's he doing?
He's DHing and hitting the snot out of the ball.
Well, yeah, because look, he's facing. You know,
Right.
honestly,
But he's like, he wants to make it back to the big leagues.
yeah, that ain't happening.
Not at 52.
That ain't happening. Sorry, Ralph. I mean, you're a great player. You might be the best hitter to never make it in the Hall of Fame. But you're not getting back to the big leagues at 52. And if you do, I'll come interview you wherever your first game is.
Free ball walk. We'll be
Exclusive.
right there.
We'll
Our
be
first
there.
live.
We'll go live interview.
Well, we have an inside. I have an inside. I have a friend that played with Rafi and them with Mississippi State. So
Okay.
if that happens, we might can actually get some tickets to go to that.
I'll work. I'll be there.
Rafael Palmeiro.
I don't think it's going to happen. I
Mississippi State, and we'll close.
Gotta close. We're
We'll
out.
close where we started. Mississippi State goes. I want to say they were 32-24. They get knocked out in the first game of the SEC tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They go to a regional and get a 20 spot put on them in their first game.
And a one pitch away, one strike away from being at Florida State by the host team.
And
Three-run
now
walk-off.
they are one game away from being in the final series.
Yeah.
And someone's got to beat them twice.
Yeah. Hey, it's a great story. Mississippi State's, just shows you. You just hang in there. You
And
just
then
gotta win
if
a
the
few games.
Gators can pull that 3 games in a row now,
Yeah.
you know, then all of a sudden that little stops what I will call the Scott Strickland Bowl. Oh, that's gonna be
That's gonna be good.
That's
You'll
gonna be
have to-
crazy.
Hey, this is one of the things you said. I'm just going to have to say, all you people out there, you can argue all you want to. You give me your reason why there's any conference better than the SEC.
Thank you.
Go ahead. You throw me anyone out there, and I'll tell you, just watch. Every time it's the World Series, every time it's collegiate finals,
And
every
that's-
time the tournament, there's always SEC teams lurking around.
Yep.
There is, and that doesn't count the Auburn, Alabama, the Florida Auburn, the Florida Georgias, the Florida Tennessees,
No.
the Alabama Tennessees, and now the Ole Miss Mississippi State. But right now, I would probably venture to say that Mississippi State hates Florida just about as much as they do Ole Miss, and that never
No
would have been
way.
said.
No way. No way. They don't care that much about Scott Strickland. Okay, well, we got to go, so we'll leave on that note. You guys have a great week. Play some baseball. Watch it on TV. We'll see you next week.